Hey everyone, it's Gamefruitpulp and welcome back to another video. Today's Building Toronto video is going to be a little bit different. I'm not actually going to be building or showcasing any specific builds, but sort of just talking about something we need in the world, and that's simply more builders. So this project has been going on for a while now, and we're up to 5.5 members. I'll count Star as a half member because he's not really a member, but he kind of like has built things. And he's still on the active on the server, so we're going to count him as half a builder. So we're at 5.5 builders pretty much, and I'd like to really grow the team by a few more people. So what I basically am looking for, what we as a team are looking for, are a varying group of people. If you only want to do one type of build, that's fine, but they're only specific categories of build that we're okay with. Somebody who's only going to be that category. Like for example, if you want to come on and say, oh, I only build classical castle style, like we're not going to have a spot for you. Like I'm not going to lie to you and make you stay on the team and then give you nothing to do. But if you don't want to come on and say, for example, say you want to help make this project, you want to help build in Toronto, but you don't know the city that well and you're not confident copying off of Google Maps. That's completely fine. If you want to join the team, we can definitely find a role for you doing interiors or something like that. If you just want to do interiors and that's something you want to do and you want to build the map like that, you can do that. If you want to only build modern towers, there is a good amount of modern towers in the city. So you might not get something like Commerce Court West. You might get something more like this tiny smaller tower here, but it's still a tower. If you want something more modern, that's probably something we can help have you do. And if you're okay with just sort of doing a varying amount of things, that's perfect as well. Obviously, that's the ideal thing is if you're more versatile, it's easier for us to find things for you to do. There are a couple of guidelines that I just want to go over now before people sort of apply, just because I don't want someone to apply and then get rejected and be let down. For one, we want you to be active. If you can't get on 2, 3, more around 3 or 4 times a week, then you're probably not the right fit for this project. We want to try and keep this project constantly going because if this project stalls and people sort of stop coming on, it's really hard to get it going again simply because of the grand scale of the map. You have to sort of grind at it every single day, at least 1 or 2 people doing something to sort of keep the progress going because as the map gets bigger, smaller things will mean less and less. So we want to make sure that we always have some significant progress made every single day. And so with a team of 5 people, we want to grow it to as many as 10 people. If we have 1 or 2 on every day building something, even if it's only for like an hour, if you can only play for an hour, but we want to see at least 3 or 4 times a week that you can come on. So if you can't commit that much time, then that's perfectly fine. This might not be the right fit for you. And we'd prefer that you sort of are straight with us. If you can't commit 4 days, like 3 or 4 days a week, even if it's for like an hour, but you think, hey, I can come on the weekend once, or either Saturday or Sunday, and I can play for 6 or 7 hours or whatever. I can spend an afternoon building once a week. That's fine too. If you think that basically what we're looking for is someone who can commit a reasonable amount of time per week to the server, because we've had a few people who have joined the team that have been really good builders. The person who built this pub is actually one of those people that built this pub, and like we thought, oh great, we have a really good builder for the team, and then he just disappeared for 3 weeks. Then he came back and was like expecting a build. Well, we can't really operate like that because we're constantly trying to expand the town out, right? So, or the city out. So if, for example, say we assign somebody this build here, and then they didn't come back for 3 weeks, and we also assign somebody this, then that down there. This person doesn't come back for 3 weeks. These are all done. In the meantime, the people that had all these builds finished these and did the other builds around here, and then we're just left with this sort of one plot of grass in the middle. Kind of like Commerce Court North, which we assigned to Star. Like I can't get mad at Star because he's not an actual builder on the team, but that's an example of what we want to try and avoid, right? We had everything built around it. We just had this one patch of grass in the middle of the block. So because of that, if you can't dedicate a reasonable amount of time every week or two, there's no real like point of like trying to join the team. I don't want to sort of like I don't want to be rude, but I also don't want to be like I want to be clear. I want to be transparent that we're looking for people who can give a significant amount of time. And so if you can't do that, don't apply. Simply you can come on and join us and look around the map, and if I'm on, I'll let you sort of go in. Why is there a stop sign on the wall? I'll let you sort of like go in game mode 1. I'll give you a car. You can drive around the city if you want. Like you can do that kind of stuff, no problem. But just the building part of the map may not be for you, and that's perfectly fine. Another thing is anyone who joins has to do a test build. If you do a test build and we don't think it's at a level we want, we just won't have you build. Simply because there are some rare cases where I guess we could, if you do a build and it's not as high as we want, but it's like close, we can sort of like teach you what we're looking for. But that being said, if we're going to sort of teach you how to build the way we want you to build, we might as well just kind of build it ourselves. Obviously, that's not like if you build something, if it's something like close to acceptable, but just not quite at the quality that we want it, that's a different story. But if you build like a square, like say you're building, I don't know, let me think. Say you're building Commerce Court North, and like there's no steps, no glass panes, it's glass blocks straight across here, like this. Like we're not gonna, if it's just a big square, we're not gonna take you on the team, right? Because the thing that's gonna make this map really cool is all the details. And so that being said, if it's not this level of detail, for example, or something like that, maybe like you missed some little things, then obviously we're not going to cut you right there. We're going to sort of talk to you and show you the things that we want to see, and then maybe we'll give you a couple other test builds and something like that. But again, if you're somebody who isn't that confident in building, maybe you don't know if you're that, if you are like a really good builder in this style, it is something that's quite a difficult thing. You'd think it's pretty easy copying builds that are in real life, but there are times where you're forced to make details out of places that there are no details. And so like something like this, like the Hotel Victoria, where it has a lot of details that you can't really articulate in the game, and at the same time you sort of have to make the building look like something that's not just a big square block. And so if you're not good at that, if you're not good at copying real life builds, if it's not something you've done before, what I would recommend is before applying, if you want to apply, maybe do a couple test builds on your own. Maybe sort of go into a creative world, pick some buildings, and not buildings that are easy to build either. Don't pick like Brookfield Place. Like Brookfield Place is pretty easy building to build because it's pretty much square, or it's pretty much like straight. Pick something, I don't know, like this pub here on the corner. Like this is, I couldn't do any better than this. I probably would do worse, to be honest. Like this is something that you want to challenge yourself to do before jumping into this style. It's not, copying a build from real life is not something that you can sort of just jump in and do and be really good at it the first time you try. It's something that takes a lot of time, especially if you're not a builder who builds with a lot of detail all the time. And because of that, again, I just want to make sure that we're clear with people who are applying. I don't want to try and convince people who are thinking about applying to not apply, but at the same time, I don't want people applying and then be disappointed because we reject them. So that's pretty much like the two sort of requirements. If you're still on board, you still want to join the team, just send me a message and we will sort of get you set up a test build. Aside from that, my name is Gamefruitpulp, and I will catch you guys all next time. Have a good one.